Terminator Dark Fate Defiance is a real-time strategy game set in the Terminator Dark Fate universe, which is based off the movie of the same name. Developed and published by Slytherin Limited and released on February 21, 2024. As a big Terminator fan, I was very much looking forward to this game's release, and so I had to give this game a go. What is up, my dwellers of the interwebs? I'm Sorensen, and this is my first impression on the real-time strategy game Terminator Dark Fate Defiance. Terminator Dark Fate Defiance is set in the Dark Fate universe and follows the war that happens between humanity and Legion. Legion being this timeline's version of Skynet. When you play the single-player campaign, you will take command of a group named the Founders, who are a group made up of what remains of the US military. During the single-player campaign, you will face off against tough odds against Legion and always feel like you are on the losing side. The pressure is high as you try to take back what the machines took from humanity. The dialogue is all fully voice acted as well, and while there aren't any cutscene cinematics to tell the story, the in-game dialogue does a pretty decent job at immersing you in the situation at hand.
Organizing things.
Organizing?
You know, dude came in with his man and all their guns, and now he runs things here. Taxes us by getting us to give him supplies and stuff salvaged from the field.
The field?
Yeah. Years ago, there was this big-ass fight against the Crones. Lots of good stuff left there, but you gotta watch out for the minefields.
Terminator Dark Fate Defiance is a high-intensity, action-packed RTS game, which stands for real-time strategy. You must come up with the best strategy on the go, all in real time, while facing off against an unrelenting foe. You must think fast in order to find the best method of completing your missions or risk losing all your men. Garrison in buildings, find both civilian and military vehicles to control while on the field, since majority of your units can also drive. Ammo consumption is also something you need to be aware of, where your soldiers and vehicles can run out of ammo while in combat. And if you aren't in a place where you can resupply them, then you will find yourself in a lot of trouble very quickly. You can, however, repair your vehicles while on the field in order to keep them running, but if they take too much damage, then they can't be used anymore. All of this combines together to create a very intense atmosphere while playing the game, which is all very fitting for a post-apocalyptic war against the machines type of scenario. There is also multiplayer and single-player skirmish as well for you to play, but the main highlight for me in this game is definitely the single-player campaign.
Don't worry about me, Mason. Just keep my flanks protected.
Combat in the game is max adrenaline and super crazy when things hit the fan, with the enemy very quickly being able to swarm your location, and if you're not careful, wipe out your whole team. There is very little chances of party resupplies, so a lot of the times the soldiers you have are what you get. And if you do get reinforcements, they won't be many. There has been countless times where I was wiped out due to being swarmed by Legion, and I had to rethink how to go about my strategy. This can all make for a very stressful situation when in combat, and while it can be very challenging, it's also quite addictive. You also have to manage your team by deciding who you will bring with you for each mission. You can resupply your men and ammunition before you go out on the field, and whoever managed to survive the last mission can also be reused again here too. You can also resupply your ammo and guns by picking up the items that drop from your enemies as well. This can help when you're trying to sustain your resources while on a long mission. So there are still ways you can resupply your teams, but when in the heat of combat, it won't be so easy to just run your squads to an area where an enemy has dropped ammo.
They're coming! Rockets are ready! Lost like crew! Lost another driver! Get out of here! Enemy spot!
The audio in the game is very reminiscent of the Terminator franchise, using similar themed soundtracks to give that vibe while playing the game. I did find the audio to be a bit janky at times, however, there were times where I felt audio was just missing. especially when there was vehicles driving. I couldn't hear the cars or trucks driving when moving, so it felt off. The combat audio was fantastic though, with loud, punchy energy gun effects and just classic weaponry also sounding fantastic. So while there was some room for improvements in the audio, other sections were great. The graphics of the game aren't the best looking in my opinion, but they also don't have to be cutting edge since it's a real-time strategy game. You're not playing a first-person or third-person game here, so the character models don't need to be highly detailed. They just need to be detailed enough that you can tell what they are on the field. The environments look fantastic though, and so does the buildings as well. I did enjoy the visuals for the most part. They do look good for a real-time strategy, but they could have been better, but they work for what it is. Overall, I'd say that Terminator Dark Fate Defiance is a challenging and fairly entertaining look into the dark and grim future of what could be in the Terminator Dark Fate universe. With how Skynet became Legion and Judgement, they still came just at a different time, and with slight differences to the original Terminator timeline, the main story campaign is the highlight for sure in the game, and I was really immersed in this story so far. The missions can get hard and unforgiving and will have you stressing out on countless occasions, but it will also feel awesome when you manage to complete the mission you are stuck on, even if you barely survive and get through it with very few survivors left. The game definitely makes you feel like the odds are never in your favor, since you are fighting a battle against unrelenting machines who will always have the upper hand. I did think that the game definitely needs some polish, since sometimes squads just would not go in the direction I was directing them to go, instead going a weird roundabout way or just going in a totally different direction completely. This can make completing missions challenging at times due to this weird pathing issue. And something else that I think they should think about doing is adding health bars over the top of each squad and enemy squad, because there's plenty of times where I couldn't even see the enemy on the terrain. I know it provides a better level of immersion, but I think if the devs added it as an option at least, that could be nice. The challenge the game provides is fairly high too, even on the easiest difficulty, which is fine, but don't expect an easy win just because you dropped it to easy mode. You still have to be on your toes during missions, and even more so in the higher difficulties. The game is fun for the most part, and I enjoyed experiencing the future side of the Terminator series. It's always been something I wanted to experience more. The game isn't top tier, but it isn't the worst game either. It definitely scratched my itch for an RTS Terminator game, that's for sure. If you're a fan of the Terminator series, you should consider playing this game. It's definitely fun overall.
Get our people in vehicles or buildings is strong point. Got them in our...
So there you have it. That's my first impression on the game Terminator Dark Fate Defiance. Thank you for watching. I'm Sorasin. Have a fantastic day. Please drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed my content, and hit that bell icon to stay up to date on all my upcoming videos. Also, please follow me on my Twitch, where I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Take care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.